Over $9,000 later, do I regret getting my boobs done? I feel like that's one of the #1 questions I get, and everything from, do I feel like I overpaid? How was surgery? How was recovery? What do I think about how they look? And am I happy with them? Do I think it was worth it? Would I recommend doing it? There's so many questions that I feel like people have, and I figured it was beyond time that I sat down with you guys and talked about them all and just went in depth. So for a little bit of a background, this is me without that shirt on in the bra that I'm wearing. Now, previously I was a Victoria's Secret 36C bra, which actually I will insert the TikTok photo of it right here. And I wore that bra. It was hard for me to fill the top a bit, so I would sometimes have that little bit of gapping, but only a little bit. Like if I stood up straight, I didn't have the gapping. I filled the bottom of the cup because I had a lot of lower breast tissue, but no upper breast tissue. It was like, it basically went like, whoop. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's a very interesting shape. But either way, I was a 36C in Victoria's Secret, but in most other sizes, and basically if you looked at me, you thought I was an A, because I basically was an A. I just remember that everyone in my family, literally everyone, my dad's side, my mom's side, everyone had boobs like this, or at least close to this. And so that's kind of what I also was used to, and then everybody around me started getting boobs, and at that point in my life, when it was like, you know, puberty time, I was so insecure about my boobs. I thought, you know, boobs would make me look better, people would think I was hotter, and all this other stuff. Like, I was insecure, like, oh, my boobs aren't good enough. But as I got older, especially when I started to give up bras, that was actually the biggest thing that helped me get over my insecurity about my boobs, was giving up bras and stop pretending to be something that I wasn't, and stop pretending to like push them up and make the girls look better, which I'm going through that process again because I feel like I have to do that again. But either way, that point aside, after I had given up bras for a while and started to get more and more comfortable in my own body, and more people saw me naked and told me I looked good, and like, you know, just like those little self-esteem booster type of things, and you just start to feel sexy in your own body, I got to the point where I was like, yes, I am hot, my boobs are great, they look great on my figure, they look good. Like, I was pretty gosh darn happy. And that's when I started to realize that I wanted them not for the fact that I wanted to help my insecurity. I wanted to be less insecure. I wanted to feel like I looked better. I wanted them because I wanted freaking cleavage. I wanted boobs. I love boobs. I love cleavage. I am bisexual. I love boobs. I love boobs more than I should. So it was out of pure want instead of insecurity. And I think that's when I finally decided for myself, like, you can spend the money on something you want. I couldn't before. Like, I couldn't justify spending that much money because, one, I'm young in general, and it's a lot of money, but also because I was like, I don't want to spend money on something to try to make myself feel better. I want it because, frick, it's ice cream. I want ice cream. Now, with all of that said, I did go through with getting my implants done, and I scheduled a day for November 1st. And it was a pretty short window in which I got it done because I wanted to get it done before I went on vacation. So a little bit of a different experience than most people. They have a little bit more of a window to, you know, comprehend what's going on. I didn't, so I think that maybe helped me in a way because I didn't have the opportunity to start overthinking the surgery too much. I already had done research in the past about surgery and what it was going to be like and recovery and all of that, but I didn't have time to look up horror stories or Google my worried questions. I feel like sometimes if you have more opportunity to think about it, you can think like, what if this, what if that, what if this? And I didn't have time to have that nervous reaction because, again, it was happening so quickly that my brain wasn't even comprehending that I was going to be going underneath the knife. So when it came down to the day that it was happening, I had a friend sleep over the night before who was going to take me to surgery in the morning. And they ended up leaving that morning before leaving to like drop me off at surgery. So I had the morning there by myself to kind of be in my own thoughts. And I actually think I recorded a TikTok clip. So I'll insert it here just to show you guys how I felt that morning. 0 days until implants. It is early in the morning. I probably have not got enough sleep. This bra is one that fits me, but I think after surgery it's going to be a lot more filled. So either way, kind of like a before, and I'll show you guys an after. Obviously I'll have to heal a little bit first, but I'll even show you guys after I get out of surgery. I can't believe it's in like a half an hour. But basically all I was thinking about was like, it's today, and I don't know. again, it wasn't real to me in the moment. But when it came to actual surgery, it was so simple. So I got in there and basically, you know, tell me what to do. And then we went into this area where they took final photos, did some final, you know, drawing on my body, which is kind of weird because they're drawing out where they want your cleavage to lie, where your like boobs are, where they're gonna place the implants, all this information that I don't fully understand. I'm probably not telling you right, but either way, they're drawing on your body to prepare for when you're going into actual surgery. And then after that, I was like, wait, I still need to take out my contacts. You're not supposed to have contacts in during surgery. So they're like, okay, go take out your contacts. So I go to take out my contacts, and then I'm like, so wait, do I bring my phone with me now? Because they told me to have it for entertainment. And they're like, there's no more entertainment left. Like, you're going underneath the knife. And I'm like, wait, I am? Like, I don't know. No one really said like, hey, you're going into the surgery room right now. I feel like they don't want to make you feel nervous or uncomfortable. So basically they don't like fully like say like time for surgery or we're about to cut you open or we're gonna knock you out. So basically I put my phone away and then they walked me into the room that I'm gonna have surgery in. And since I don't have my contacts in, he's like, hold on to my arm. So like I'm holding on to his arm or his hand, I can't remember. But either way, they walk me in there and they have me sit down on this bed. And I'm like, so wait, this is real, this is happening. But like, I don't know, it feels like an alien situation, especially since I kept telling them, I'm like, this thing above my head, which is a giant light, kind of similar to like the dentist, but not really. It was like, it reminds me of like if you got captive in like an alien spaceship and then your legs are in this thing that makes like a pulsing thing. I'm not sure the full reasons why. You could probably Google it. Something to do with probably blood flow or something. But either way, it like pulses on your legs. I'm looking at this thing. There's like multiple people talking to me. They're all behind me. And again, feels like a spaceship. And I make that comment and she's like, no, like I think she doesn't want me to be nervous. Like, don't be like feeling like you're getting like taken by aliens. I'm like, no, it's kind of cool looking. Because I wasn't like in a bad way. It just reminded me of being in a spaceship. And then they're talking to me and they're like, we're gonna put this thing over you, just like breathe. And I think part of me knew that that was to knock me out, but part of me hadn't really acknowledged the fact that like, oh, they're talking to me like this. I'm gonna put this thing over my head. So I keep talking almost like if you're counting backwards type of thing to make me pass out. And I passed out. I passed out good. I passed out real good. And then they, you know, cut me open and they actually got some clips. So if you want to see some clips of like more of the surgery day and all of that, you can watch the vlog down below, but this is not the point of this video. So then after I wake up, I'm not in the surgery room. I'm in the room, in another room that kind of just reminds me of a normal doctor's office room. But the point is, I had such a hard time getting out of anesthesia, like so hard. Like I never want to be put under again, even though I probably will at some point in my life for different things I want to do. But either way, I was like, no, it was horrible. I kept waking up, barely being able to see, and knowing that the nice nurse lady that was there earlier is like talking to me and trying to like talk me down every time I wake up. But I wake up and I just start screaming no. Like I cannot control it at all. Like I had no ability to control the fact that I keep waking up and freaking out and trying to run out of my chair. Literally, I was trying to like get out of my chair. I'm like screaming no. Maybe it had to do with the aliens. Maybe I had to do again with it. I thought I was taken by aliens. But either way, so I kept waking up and saying no, and it was like the worst, foggiest, grossest feeling in my entire life. And I just kept remembering, she kept trying to calm me down, like, you just had surgery, you're fine, calm down. And then I passed right back out again before she would even finish her sentence. They get me out of the chair, into the wheelchair. And also for the record, I was so dehydrated and kept begging for water, but they don't want to give you too much water or food or anything like that because they don't want you to get nauseous, because a lot of people are nauseous and vomit afterwards. I was not one of those people, thank God. We'll talk more about that in a second. And then they put me into his car and I got back home, and a lot of people, including my doctor and like nurses, warned me like that might be the worst, most painful ride of your whole entire life. No, I was still so out of it. So groggy, kind of trying to make conversation. Then they bring me back, I get into my bed, and then I'm thinking I'm gonna be awake, and I pass out, and I wake up, and I pass out. But either way, I was not in pain. Like, not really. Like, I was gross and disgusting feeling from the anesthesia, but I wasn't in pain, I wasn't nauseous, I wasn't vomiting. So then when it comes to actual recovery, so we're talking about like that window and afterwards, the recovery was a lot easier than I thought. I know people that stories where they couldn't even like lift up a glass to like drink. For me, I didn't even need a straw. I was just like drinking. I could lift my arms pretty easily. Like I still had limited motion. You have to be careful and not overdo it on your body. But like my boobs felt like way quicker than most people, so I didn't have to do the breast massages. Just in general, it was a really easy recovery. It wasn't painful. I wasn't really sore or stiff. There was only certain moments where my stitches hurt a little bit, but that was about it. And even then, it wasn't bad. It reminded me literally of like recovering from a cold. Like it was nowhere near as bad as other things I've been through. It was basically just being in bed, eating food, not moving as much, not really have a desire to do things, and taking a lot of naps. So again, reminds me of a cold. Welcome to my bathroom where I'm pushing up my boobs to show you guys an idea of what they look like now and how I feel about the literal boobs I got. So this is what they look like in a push-up bra. So this is a 36D. They didn't have my proper size, which is a 34 double D. I have another bra that's a 34 double D, but this one is the style I like better. It's more comfortable and cozy. It does not have underwire. But either way, I feel like this gave a good idea of like the most cleavage I can really get. Now, if I wear a top, it does squeeze them a little bit more, but again, I'm limited with the amount of cleavage I got, even though I got 325 cc's. But either way, I feel like even for a C, this isn't the cleavage people expect to have, because the one thing, and my surgeon did warn me about this right away, so I kind of had advanced notice of it, and it sucks, but I have a pretty large chest bone. So the bone that's like right here, muscle bone, I can't remember which one it is. Either way, don't quote me on that, go watch the consult video. But either way, he did warn me that this area is a lot larger. So my implants are gonna sit further apart than the average bear is what he said. And basically what that means is I'm not gonna have that cleavage look as much, especially without a bra on. I definitely don't have the cleavage look, and some girls after they get implants, even without bras on, they look like they have freaking cleavage and they have that nice little like look, and I wish I could have that. So that's one thing I'm not as happy about when it comes to my implants. I have a lot more side boob, but it's because that is how my own body was previously. So it's like we work with your own anatomy and we enhance it. And then without this on, I will show you guys. They look like this, and I feel like that's not that big. Like they don't seem like that large. Again, I'm pushing them down a bit here. I'm gonna try to not push them down but still cover stuff. So this is what they look like now, and this is how my stitches look. So they still have a good amount of work to do, and this is kind of like how they look. Again, they sit further apart than most people. So a lot of people, their boobs are more like this without pushing together, and mine are only like that when I push them together. So a lot to the side, if you notice, they go to the side. So you might not be the same way. You might get implants the same size as mine and start with less boobs than I did and look like this. And it's just because your own body's anatomy, your boobs sit closer together, mine sit further apart. So I don't really like that factor. I don't like that they're like this. I wish they were like this at least. Or like, some girls are like this after implants, and I wish I was like that, but I'm like this. So I'm still happy with them, but it's not exactly the look I was going for. But I just think it's one thing that people don't talk enough about in these implant videos, because maybe not everybody experiences it, but people's anatomy makes the difference in what your end result is gonna look like. And I feel like not enough surgeons talk about that, not enough people that went through the experience talk about that. Like they talk about, I'm like, yeah, I love them, and yes, I love my boobs. I love the implants I got, but I don't love that they sit apart like that. Now, with all that said about how I feel about my actual boobs right now and kind of like what they look like more, what do I feel about the money side of things? Because that was not a free purchase. These are expensive right here, and that's why when people like talk to me about implants and stuff like that, I'm not shy to say they're implants. Like, I spent good money on these, so I am not going to be shy about it. I don't give a crap if you are against surgery or pro-surgery or whatever. This is my damn body. But either way, it's still not cheap. It's not free. It's especially expensive in certain states, including mine. You can definitely get them cheaper in other states. You can definitely get them for more money where I am. But if you want to know more about how I felt about the money and why I decided to spend the $9,000 and why it didn't cost more or less, or why I went with the surgeon I went with, I actually vlogged it all, so I will link that video down below, and actually the playlist with all the videos in this series. So in that video I talked more about the money side of things, so I'm not going to go over too much of that in this video. But either way, money is already spent, so it doesn't really matter at this point. There's no refunds. But how do I feel about all of it? Do I think it was worth it? Do I think getting my boobs done was worth it? Would I take it back if I really could? If there's like a reset button, would I use the reset button? No, I don't completely love them. I don't feel like I'm one of those people after surgery that's like, oh my God, best decision ever. Look at my boobs. Look at my boobs. Look at my boobs. Look at my boobs. I really wish I could be that way, but I don't think I'm that way with most things anyway. So that's one thing, and also it's just, I don't completely love them. And there's only so much you can do. I have a larger chest bone, what you might call it, thingy here, so it doesn't allow me to have that cleavage and close together boobs that I kind of wanted. So no matter how much money I spent or what I did per se, I would be going against my anatomy if I was to try to create that look. And I have nothing against if people do it, but it's also against my own body and things. There'd be other side effects to it. So it's like, I'm happy with what I could do within the limitations of what was naturally possible. I feel like naturally is not the right word because again, we were talking about surgery, but working with my own original anatomy and enhancing it to do what I could with enhancement instead of altering. The enhancement, I am happy with the enhancement I made. Do I wish I could have altered a little bit more? Yes. Let me just take it off and show you guys what it looks like without the bra on. They still are way bigger than what they were before, but again, they sit wider. They sit wider than I would have wanted. So all that blabbering aside, yes, I do think it was worth it. Yes, I would do it again. I just have to get reused to my own body again and realize that my implants aren't someone else's implants. My boobs aren't someone else's boob. My cleavage aren't someone else's cleavage. So just because someone got the same CCs as me doesn't mean it's gonna look the same on my body as it does someone else. And in the general sense of things, I'm pretty damn happy with them and they look great in a sports bra. They do. They look great without it in like a tank top and stuff like that because they come out more. Oh, but either way, that all said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video and I'd really appreciate it if you hit that like and subscribe button down below. I promise I will do more implant videos in the future going over more specific things. It's kind of a general answering a bunch of people's questions. But other than that, I will do more detailed videos in the future. So please, 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 again, hit that like and subscribe button down below and have a great rest of your morning, evening, night, whatever it is for you. I'll see you Wednesday.